Here we are with Professor Christopher Yukins from George Washington University, and we are very pleased to hear him from US in Turin, and for a conference on integrity and efficiency in sustainable public contract that we organized in our university. And I would like to ask him first, why he accepted, and we are so pleased that he accepted to be here with us for this conference.
Professor, the reason that we in our program are so involved in international comparative work is we're the second generation of professors in our program. The program has been there since 1960. And the first generation of professors really worked on building government contract law and public procurement law in the United States as a science. In the second generation, we're working on critical theory issues, trying to figure out why public procurement law is what it is. By looking internationally, by looking at other examples from other countries, we get a much better idea of how our system works, why our system is what it is, and we make us better professors. We're able to train our own young lawyers better. And it was a privilege to be able to come here and share our theories and our views with you and your students. I really enjoy that.
Yes, it's very interesting for us to know and to have get all your experience in this subject. And for what is the main interest of the conference, I would like to ask you if you see any goals in integrity in public contracts at first.
I do, and the overall goal, I think, of the conference would be one of harmonization, of making it possible that professors and others from different countries share information, share best practices on how to make procurement systems work better. With regards to integrity, we're seeing a huge revolution right now in anti-corruption worldwide, driven in important part by the UN Convention Against Corruption. Almost all the nations in the world are members of the UN Convention Against Corruption, and that includes the UN Convention includes certain requirements regarding procurement. It's changing, for example, the nature of bid challenges. In many more nations, it's now possible to bring bid challenges because the UN Convention requires it. Specifically here as lawyers, one of the things we're talking a lot about, we've talked about with your class, and one of the things we'll be talking about tomorrow is how to make compliance systems work. Italy is already moving down that road. Other nations, I was in Austria 2 days ago. Austria is just beginning to use it. I was in Azerbaijan last week. They've never heard of corporate compliance systems. The idea is setting up internal mechanisms within corporations so that those corporations become partners in fighting corruption. That those corporations have mechanisms internally for identifying corruption and then cooperating with authorities to make sure that corruption is wiped out. It's a sea change in how we approach corruption because we're breaking corporations, which historically were the vehicles of corruption. We're making corporations partners in fighting corruption.
Okay, and in time of economic crisis, we can't spare any public fund, and then it's important to fight corruption and to gain efficiency. So what about the goal of efficiency in public procurement?
I think that the harmonization itself is probably the biggest efficiency, the biggest area where we as professors can add value. If different countries have different procurement systems, that creates a barrier so that contractors can't move between countries, that Italian contractors can't sell in the United States, Italian contractors can't sell in Argentina because of the different rule systems. The irony here is, the secret is that procurement rules are basically the same all over the world. How do we make them the same enough so that contractors can move smoothly? Now, Europeans are way ahead of the United States in this. The European directives from the European Union helps that harmonization across Europe. Europe has integrated, has harmonized its public procurement markets. We in the United States are following Europe in that, and we're going to try to create harmonization, not only internationally, so that American rules look like European rules, but also internally. It's have the same rules, harmonization internally. And we're easily 10 to 20 years behind Europe in that. One of the reasons I'm here is to learn about how harmonization works inside Europe, so I can take those lessons back to the United States.
It's very interesting. It's a pity to realize that Europe has the same rules, but then cross-border procurement is a very, very little percentage. So also in Europe we have to do a lot of work on this because cross-border procurement doesn't yet exist. And what about sustainable procurement and this other goal of our conference?
It's an enormous challenge because by nature, sustainability, the question of how we ensure that there's clean air, that the earth doesn't grow warmer, is a huge amorphous goal. And it collides ties with precision of procurement law. Procurement law is very, very precise rules. How to take sustainability and apply that is a real challenge. Now, what's very interesting is that the European Union and the United States are moving forward in parallel. Both are proponents now of stickers or emblems, labels that say that a particular product is more environmentally sound. It's what is referred to as eco-labeling. Both systems are moving forward in parallel in the same eco-labeling initiative, and they don't talk to each other. It's almost unknown. If you talk to American regulators, they have no idea that the European Union is undertaking exactly the same initiative in parallel. But think how inefficient it is. If an Italian corporation wants to sell its products in Italy under the European system, and then wants to go to the United States, and there's a different system of eco-labeling, that's a ridiculous barrier to entry. It's a ridiculous inefficiency. So sustainability will also be assisted by harmonization, by greater efficiency, by the two systems talking to each other. We're privileged as professors because we can talk to each other and share ideas, and then we can share those ideas with rule makers in our respective countries. It's one of the most important things that professors can do. First most important is to train students, but also at the same time making the procurement systems work in our respective countries. It's a privilege that we as professors can do that.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree, and I think that this workshop and this discussion will be profitable in doing this networking together. Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me to this beautiful city.
Thank you very much.